I can tell you about one time when I was bullied. When I was in junior high school, I was in the 8th grade. I got bullied a lot when I was a kid, or when I was younger, when I was a teenager. And there was this guy. We were in math class. I remember the math teacher's name was Miss Cherry, and the guy's name was Strawn Johnson. And I had went to the board to solve a problem, but I got the problem wrong because I have dyslexia, so I got the numbers mixed up. And she was like, no, that's not right. And so I was embarrassed. I jumped up to try to erase it. Like, you know how you do something when you're embarrassed, you're like, oh shit. And when I erased the number and I corrected it, and when I put the eraser back, when I tried to put the eraser back on the little thing on the chalkboard, I put it down wrong and it flipped off of the thing and it landed on Strawn Johnson's shoe. And he had a new pair of shoes. So the chalk had got on his shoe and he was pissed. And he was just going off, and Miss Cherry was like, Strawn, I need you to calm down, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, can you please calm down, please? Wipe it off. I was like, I'm sorry. I picked up the eraser. He made me in front of the class. Miss Cherry didn't say nothing either. Wipe his shoes off because I had got chalk on his shoes. He with that foot put it out in front of his desk and made me wipe his foot off. And I wiped his foot off and embarrassed. I set my embarrassed ass back down to my desk. And I just hoped that Miss Cherry didn't call me for no more problems to be solved on the board. I have another bully story. At that same school, 7th and 8th grade was not good for me. Somebody had broke into my locker, because I guess everybody knew I was gay. And no guess, everybody knew I was gay. But I wasn't admitting to nothing. Somebody had broke into my locker and took my stuff out of the locker and put one single bottle of Summer's Eve vaginal freshener in my locker. I got to school and was no lock on my locker, and I looked, I was like, what the hell? And I opened the locker and it was some Summer's Eve in my locker. Those sons of bitches. I can laugh about this shit now, but this shit was not fun. I tried to get that damn bottle out of my locker real quick and throw it in the trash before anybody noticed that I noticed what it was. I think after that, as a matter of fact, I stopped using lockers and I would carry all my books with me every day. I had like this big duffel bag and I carried all my books with me. I would not go to the locker. That was in junior high. It was worse in high school. But yeah, I failed gym class in junior high and high school because I couldn't go in the locker room. I was too scared if I went in the locker room I could beat up. Now, as far as the gym, gym class. Okay, so we moved into that neighborhood, and I started 7th grade in the neighborhood. And so I guess at that time, that's when they realized that I was gay. So for the 8th grade, okay, so in the 7th grade, I dressed out in gym clothes for half a semester, which was enough, half the year, which was enough for me to pass on to the 8th grade, because you can't go to the next grade unless you pass physical education. That's one of the requirements. So I passed it for 7th grade. 8th grade, I did not pass it because I couldn't dress out. That's what we called it, dressing out. I couldn't get dressed in the locker room. So now I didn't pass 8th grade to be able to go into high school. But because I was too embarrassed to go back to the 8th grade, I would be too old. I would be older than everybody in the school because I had already failed another grade before. So this would be like the second time that I would fail. So I would be like 2 years older than the oldest person in the whole school. So what I did was, when it was time to go to the 9th grade, which is high school, that morning, I remember I was on the phone with my friend Yolanda Butler, this girl. Me and her, we was real cold. That was my dog. I was like, Yolanda girl, I'm going on to high school. I was like, I'm not going back to Jolton. Jolton was the middle school, I mean the junior high, and the high school was West Creek. I said, I'm going to West Creek. I'm not going back to Jolton. And she was like, they gonna put you out. I was like, so I don't care. I'm still going anyway. So I got up, I caught the high school bus, and I went to school, and they had all the freshmen come into the auditorium. And so we was in the auditorium, and they was calling everybody's name to to assign you to your homeroom, and they called my name, even though I didn't pass the 8th grade. And I went on to my home, and then, like, after the day was over, I got home and I called Yolanda. I was like, girl, they didn't even say nothing. So, and they gave me a class schedule, so I'm just gonna stay in high school. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. I was like, I'm not going back to Jolton. And then in high school, it got worse.